So, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and I'm a gorilla in the wrist. Today we're looking at this iconic Casio A158W and asking the important question, is it always a good idea to meet your icons? Let's find out. We're going to start this by doing a very quick run around the watch. So I picked this one up for the princely sum of £7.65 on eBay about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Came in this box. I have to be honest and say I'm not entirely convinced it's genuine. However, the seller had a very good reputation and excellent feedback, so maybe it is. I kind of was expecting to pay maybe 15-20 quid for it, but hey. So let's talk a little bit about the dimensions to start off with. So let's start off with, this is a very small watch. And actually, at first glance, you kind of think maybe a child's watch. But in terms of the dimensions, so I measured it across the case in between the lug guards, and I measure it at 33mm. It's 35mm from lug to lug. So again, this isn't a big watch. The lugs themselves are 18mm, so they are a standard length, which is good, because that means you can get a strap on them. And we'll come to why that's important in a minute. And the watch itself is a remarkable 8mm. I mean, we're talking credit card after 8 mint thickness for this particular watch. And what you get for your money is, well, you get essentially a painted silver resin case. So this isn't metal, this is plastic. The bracelet that it comes on is a polished metal bracelet. I can't attest to what metal it is, but it is polished. And sort of has the look of an integrated bracelet, but it sort of has that quite a nice look to it. It's quite impressive for what you pay for it, I have to say. Properly branded on the clasp, and believe it or not, this tiny little watch fits on this gorilla's wrist. I mean, admittedly, I'm literally right at the end of the strap, but it fits. That's a good thing. However, for my fellow gorillas and for you other hirsute gentlemen out there, I do have to say, be careful with this one. This is a hair nipper extraordinaire. And so when I've finished this quick run around, I am going to switch it on to something else, just because I'm losing hairs at a rapid rate of knots with this at the moment. But if you have a look at that dial, that colour scheme, it really does scream 80s icon. And we have Casio alarm chrono across the top, lithium. It tells you what all of the buttons do immediately underneath. Very useful. That's normally on the back of the watch. And then we have water resistant at the bottom. We have the day, we have the date, we have a 24-hour indicator, and we have the time, hours, minutes, and seconds. If you cycle all the way through, you get back into time setting mode. Again, just press the mode button, stop. There is one alarm, a single alarm. However, there is also an hourly chime, and you can turn the alarm on. You can have the hourly chime and the alarm on, or nothing. And setting it is just as simple as pressing the light button and then setting the time that you want it to work. And it works perfectly well. We also have stopwatch with 1/100th of a second, which is pretty decent. Again, just reset it using the light button and back to time mode. And then on the back of the case, it says Casio. It has the movement number in the square box, which is 593. It says A158W, stainless steel back, water resistant. Useful to know, although it tells you that on the front as well. And made in Malaysia. And these take a CR2016 battery, which you can pick up for bugger all. I buy them by the dozen for not very much money at all. And the battery on this will last about 7 years, allegedly. This one weighs in at a tiny 44 grams, less than 2 ounces, which is just astounding. Okay, so let's talk about the things that I like and the things that I dislike about this watch. We'll start with my gripes, really. And the first one, you may have noticed the watch looks slightly different from when I first showed it to you. I have taken it off that bracelet, because while I really appreciate the fact that this one comes with a metal bracelet for less than a tenner, it is a proper hair nipper. However, that's an easy fix because it's got a standard 18mm lug width. So I've stuck it on this particular black rubber strap. I think this is a watch that came off my small Cadison diver. But actually it goes really well, and this is what I've been wearing on for the last 3 weeks or so. The second gripe really is just about the visibility on it. And this is unusual for Casio. I've not come across this before, but let me show you what I mean. It doesn't take much tilt before it becomes unreadable. And certainly I've kind of taken to wearing it on the inside of my wrist, but that's a slightly problematic for it. And then the final gripe, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to demonstrate this to you, but it's fairly well known. I think similar to the F91, the illumination on this is, well, let's just show you what it is. That's it. That's a little green light. But apart from that, it's hard not to like this. So let's talk about the things that I like specifically. So what are the things that I like about this watch? So we'll start with the history and iconic status of this. Now, I had a weird experience when I took this out of the box. So let's be clear, I've never owned one of these in my life. Never. I've had digital watches when I was young, back in the 80s. But for some reason, when I took this out of the box, it was like meeting a long-lost friend. I can't explain. It was really odd. There is something about that design, the colour palette that's used, the look of it, the shiny metal. It's like this is somebody that I hadn't seen for a very, very long time, which is weird given that I've never owned it. This watch kind of operates in our psyche in a very, very strange way. Which I find fascinating, interesting, alarming, and funny, all at the same time. The second thing I like about it is that it clearly has some history to it. So there seems to be some debate about this, but I was reading up somebody who was saying, no, actually this watch only goes back to 2009. That just didn't seem right, that this was somehow a reissue of a different watch. I'm going to pop up on screen. Somebody had very interestingly put onto the internet a brochure, Casio brochure from 1989, and pay attention to what's in the bottom right hand corner, folks, because that's an A158W in the corner there. So this watch does seem to go back at least to the time when I could claim to be a teenager. I'm getting on thin ground by there, to be absolutely honest. But so there is a historic significance of this watch. The third thing I like is just the simplicity. So for me, this does everything you need a watch to do. It's got a stopwatch. It's got an alarm, so it gets you up in the morning. Tells you the time. It gives you an hourly chime if you want it. At an absolutely basic fundamental level, that's it. This was built to be a affordable watch for the millions that did everything that you ever wanted to do. And that for me is a really, really important and powerful thing. If you haven't got much money in your pocket and you need to be able to tell the time to get to work, this will do it. It's incredibly accurate. So I set this watch 4 weeks ago to exactly the right time, and in those 4 weeks it's lost less than 10 seconds. And it will last you for 7 years before it will beg you to put another battery in, which will cost you less than $1. That's pretty impressive. By any measurable standard, that is pretty impressive. And then the final thing, and this was a surprise, is I was expecting, you know, gorilla size wrists, 8.5-inch wrists. This was just going to look ridiculous. And it does look small. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, but it doesn't look ridiculous. It still carries itself well. Let's stick it on the wrist so that I can show you that. And there we have it. So, is it small? Yes, it is small. Is it ridiculous? No. I've been wearing this on and off for 3 weeks, as well as that. I've been wearing it on and off for 3. I've got to show you that one because I just love that one. I've been wearing this on and off for 3 weeks, and it works. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And I think that's remarkable. So for me, I think this is an absolute winner. So I think we could wrap this one up quite quickly. So the question at the start of the video was, should you meet your icons? And in this instance, I really think you should. I think you should because there is something about this that kind of touches back into a point in our lives when we were much younger. And for the money, and for the little insect that's on it, for the money, this is absolutely amazing. I know you can get cheaper watches. I know you can get bigger watches that are cheaper. But this has something rather special going on. And I would urge you to get one and try it. So that's it for today. It's finally, the sun is out, as you'll see, because it keeps appearing in the background. The sun is out. It's a Saturday afternoon. The Olympics are on. Good luck to all the Olympians in finals. I think you're absolutely amazing. Still lots more content to come. If you've enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe. I promise next week we are doing that one. Okay? You'll want to be there for that. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Hopefully see you back very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.